My name is Bayley Smith, and this is my audience for my final speech. I believe that people in Indiana should not be allowed to own exotic animals. I think that it's cruel to the animals and it does not benefit people in logical ways other than satisfying their own needs. I will explain both sides of my argument, but I will also think that it would be important to talk about how other people feel about the issue as well. As I was researching this topic, it came to mind that people don't always think about how animals got to where they are now. They just see the animals for where they are in the moment now. For example, I found an article on Newsela, which is a website for elementary teachers. They use it so that their students can read the news that talked about a man who was concerned about his pet tiger being accidentally freed from his home in Milwaukee. Can we just stop for a minute and repeat that statement? A man from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, accidentally let a tiger roam the downtown streets. Milwaukee is only 4.5 hours away from Anderson, Indiana. To make it scarier, according to Indy Star, which also quoted Indiana law, Hoosiers are allowed to own just about any animal that they want. All they need are correct permits and papers, which can take less than a day to acquire. And they are good to go, with tigers, lions, and bears. To me, that's the biggest oh my's I have ever heard. How long will we be put in danger by these creatures that are living so close to our workplaces, homes, and children's schools? I know what you're thinking. They are so adorable looking. Maybe the next animal will be to you, but surely isn't to me. The Burmese python is an amazing yet terrifying creature that is extremely overpopulated in Florida. According to CBS News, in 2016, at one time, they were able to capture 106 snakes in one of Florida's rivers. They are an invasive species that were brought in to drive out some species that end up killing much of the wildlife in Florida. All the ways that I have listed have been about owning animals for good of what people wanted. Now let's talk about the animal side. Do you think that they like to be caged up? Do you think that they enjoy being alone and away from any other animals like themselves? Do you think that they get all the things that they need to live healthy and fulfilling lives? Let me answer that for you. The answer is no. These animals are caged up because they are too dangerous to be around humans. So why would and should humans be allowed to own them in the United States, especially Indiana? Sure, we are known for our wide open spaces, flat ground, and cornfields, which would be great for running for some of the animals, but private homeowners should not be allowed to buy them, take them home, and live in residential areas with them. Zoos and animal sanctuaries are great places for people to be able to visit these wild and beautiful species. For example, Black Pine Animal Sanctuary is a great place that rehabilitates animals and allows them to get what they need to stay healthy. According to their website, they have taken in and cared for surrendered pets for many years with the help and support of people who care about the safety of both humans and animals. The price alone to keep these animals in good health is almost astronomical. Don't get me wrong, I think that Black Pine Animal Sanctuary is doing a great thing for our animals, our town, and our safety. But how many animals who have been hurt, abused, and neglected do we have to put in a place like Black Pine before we stand and do something to make a change? These exotic animals don't deserve to ever be put in these types of situations anyway. If we would leave them in their natural habitats, they would be so much more prosperous and thriving. I want you to stop and think for a moment about all the animals that have been put in danger by this trade, so to speak. Think about how many tigers you think that are in the world. I pick tigers because they're my favorite of all the exotic animals and that I have ever seen or heard of. They are majestic looking, they walk with strength and power, and they are louder than me when I am mad, which is hard to do. Now that you're thinking about tigers, think about this true fact that I sadly found through my research on National Geographic Online. There are more tigers as pets in the world than there are in the wild. Not all animals make good pets, like tigers. Some animals are impossible to domesticate because of diet, environmental needs, social structure, or disposition. Attempting to keep wild animals often ends badly for the animal and the human. Thank you, National Geographic, for putting my thoughts into knowledgeable words that I can share with the world. It's not safe for animal or human. Also, National Geographic, more tigers are held as pets than there are in the wild. Because so many of these animals are kept as pets, there are consequences that oftentimes lead to either the death of the owners or death of the animals. This picture shows the statistics of how many exotic animals were either injured or killed, as well as how many humans were injured or killed. A 9-year-old macaque, which is a type of primate that looks like a monkey, owned as a pet, was shot and killed after attacking his owner. The macaque escaped from home, and when his owner tried to catch him with a net, the macaque attacked, biting him in the butt and thigh, and tearing apart his right hand, severing tendons. The owner's friend shot the macaque to stop the attack. So this is a prime example as to why humans should not own exotic animals, because both parties can be severely injured or even killed. I will tell you that I think this is a funny and interesting topic for me to write about because I am not an animal person actually. I have never been an animal lover, and had you told me that I would be writing a speech about exotic animals about a year ago, I would have laughed in your face and called you crazy. But when I think about all the animals that are being hurt, abandoned, and abused without a cause, it calls me in a way that I just cannot put into words. The best I could do is to say that it is cruel. Who do we think that we are, that we can do that to something living? We all have a purpose, and while I will stay with my opinion and think humans will always be more important, I still do not believe that it gives us a right to be anything but kind and loving to these creatures. According to the Humane Society of the United States, one of the main reasons that people want to acquire exotic animals in the United States are because they are cute as baby animals. However, I know that this could go without being said, but animals do grow up. They may not be cute forever, and their attitudes will really not be cute when they grow up. As much as people want to forget this fun little fact, wild animals spread diseases that our bodies are not able to fight off. They weren't built to handle those kinds of toxins and powerful infections. Almost all of the diseases that people get from animals are fatal. People, we could die from these creatures. We should not let them share a house, let alone a yard with us. Finally, to share some parting information with you, I have a piece that I have read from PETA.org. One of the headings was Ignorance Breeds Misery. I think that this is a perfect way to end my persuasive paper about ending the mistreatment and wrongful ownership. The article talked about our part in stopping animal trafficking and also helping the animals that we know are in danger. Simply talking to people about this issue is a way to let others know. About what is going on in our community that many people are blind to. Honestly, I don't think that many people are aware of this issue that is seriously too close to home for comfort. It is something that can stop and is able to be stopped. Thank you.